Ambassador Fabian, could you tell us about the ending of the blockade on Qatar?
Thank you for the question. As we know, there are 54 million human beings in the GCC, half of whom are foreigners. For them, for 54 million human beings, and for all of us who are outside the GCC, who wish well to the GCC, this is a great moment for rejoicing. The blockade started in June 2017. The exact date is 5th of June. Now the question is, why did it happen? Many scholars have explained that the blockade happened because of bilateral strains between Qatar and its big neighbor Saudi Arabia. There was a violent border dispute in 1992. Well, that explanation is correct, but only up to a point. Let me explain why. Because without President Trump's giving the green signal to what the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, generally known as MBS, the blockade would not have occurred. Trump chose Saudi Arabia to be the first country to visit as president. Went there in May 2017, was given a Wagnerian reception. He took part in a sword dance, and the most important for him, he signed an agreement for selling arms worth $350 billion to Saudi Arabia over a period of 10 years. Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, also was with him. Kushner is a great friend of MBS. MBS told Jared about his plans to punish Qatar by starting a blockade. Punish Qatar for what? To punish Qatar for, quote, funding terrorism, unquote. Let me make it clear. The charge does not make any sense at all. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, Jared spoke to his father-in-law, who gave the green signal. And that is why the blockade started. Now, people, of course, naturally and correctly speak of the economic cost of the blockade. Nobody has made a thorough study, but it will certainly run into billions of dollars to all concerned, not only Qatar, but also for the blockading countries, that is Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain mainly. Kuwait and Oman did not join the blockade. So you see that the GCC was divided. But let us look at the human cost. There are tens of thousands of families which were separated because Saudi Arabia and its allies cut off consular relations with Qatar, which meant that Qataris who were in these three countries had to leave, or nationals from these three countries in Qatar had to leave. So thousands, tens of thousands of families were separated. What a shame. Now, we see that American scholars have rushed in to congratulate Jared Kushner for his great accomplishment. Yes, indeed, he worked the phones, and it is a very important accomplishment. But let us dig deeper. If Jared could have done it now, in January 2021, why didn't he do it in 2017 after the blockade started? Now, we all know that Jared is the one who created the problem by getting the green signal from his father in law. So, he has now done it, which is a good thing. As Shakespeare's Mark Antony said, the evil that men do lives on after them, but here is an exception. The evil that President Trump did in the case of the GCC has disappeared before he leaves office. So that's a good thing. But if you really reflect over it, you will find that it is because President Biden is due to take over on the 20th of January, despite all that Trump is doing to avert the inevitable, that MBS did what he did, because he knows that President Biden will tell him politely, but without mincing words, stop it. The blockade of Qatar did not make any sense. So we see that we have started seeing the good that President Biden can do. Let us thank President Biden, and thank you, dear listeners.